Hello, UCAR. Peter Christensen here, coming to you from the CEO's desk. I'm going to talk about. I know I've talked about this in the past, but had it come up again recently. Good reminder, and a good reminder of the why sometimes. But some people. I remember hearing this rule of three. Anytime we recommend somebody, an appraiser, a home inspector, you have to recommend three. Well, I've never seen anywhere where it requires you anything requires you to recommend three. And it may have been some E&O insurance carrier at some point said, hey, we want you to. I don't know why three, but it is a good idea. I always say, make sure your client is the one making the decision, because the scenario I don't like is when a an agent never even asks, I just, hey, we've got settlement at XYZ uh, title company. And the buyer saying, okay, great. And they never ever clue into that was a choice by somebody, that they had a choice of what company to use. And we're not ever told about that. Now, let's be honest. Let's be real, I should say. Let's be real. You don't, how many of us who are not realtors have a title company in mind? Probably not many buyers and sellers have a title company in mind. So when you say, hey, is there a title company you'd like to use? They probably say, what do you recommend? And you may have an awesome one that's done incredible business for you in the past, done a good job. You really trust them. And so you really do believe it's in your client's best interest to use this title company. There are always those weird circumstances where maybe a builder's or seller is asking that you use a certain company, and there's maybe incentives tied to it. And that's a topic for a different discussion. But there's a lot of power in just acknowledging your client. Hey, it is up to you what company we use. If you don't have one, we recommend this one. This is a company we use a lot. Some people are maybe hesitant to say recommend. I think by merely saying, here's one I suggest, you're recommending them. So tomato, tomato on that one. But it's always good to let them know, hey, I'm not going to just do this automatically and you don't have a choice. Whether it's home inspector, title company, appraiser, whoever you're using as part of the transaction, let them know, especially if the client's paying for it, right? And so, yeah, inspector is one that's particularly interesting because, again, how many people off the street know or have a preferred inspector? Probably not many. And there's a big difference. There's a big variety in them. And so you may have one that or two that are your favorites. And I think that it's perfectly fine to suggest we have a couple. Go ahead, check them out. If you want to use one of these, we've got a good relationship with them. More often than not, they're probably just going to say, go, yeah, just if you think they're good, go ahead and schedule it. Okay, great. But it becomes problematic if you say pick it for them and don't really let them know. You just say, hey, do you want an inspection? Yes. Okay, I'll line it up. And you pick the inspector. And I've even heard of circumstances where the buyer never sees the agreement. So they don't even know what was in the agreement. Now, most inspectors hopefully are wanting contact with the client and realizing you're my client, not the agent, and I need you to realize what's going on. But don't get lazy in a transaction and skip that part and make sure that happens, because it can be problematic and can come back to bite you later. So be careful. And that's why I think that thought came about originally of, hey, you should recommend three, is that I think it comes from, I don't want to be the one making the decision for the client. And I agree with that. Always let them know you have a choice. If they say, I don't know which company's good, then say, okay, we've worked with this one a lot. We can book that. Great, book it. Okay, you've at least let them know you had a choice, and I'm not going to pick it for you if you have a difference of opinion. All right. This is not legal advice. This is legal information only. If you need specific legal advice, please contact your attorney. Thanks for tuning in.